Hi there, welcome to day 3. I hope you're still with me and you're still managing to fit these sessions in once a day, whatever time you can. For today's class, you'll need a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, like yesterday, a rolled up blanket could work, or some like a thick pillow rolled up with a strap around it. You could even use a Tupperware box for what we're going to do today. So just have your block next to you on your mat. And as we dip into day 3, this is sometimes where our energy flags, or maybe our interest in sticking with it starts to flag. And so close your eyes, and the intention for the practice is to do what you can. So even if you just sit and breathe for a few minutes here and then you stop the video, just committing to do what you can is enough. And often we can get into the mindset of feeling as though if we don't do the full thing, then it's a big problem. And so just trying to get into the habit that what we do here is enough. As with this practice and any practice that you join, only do what feels good. Don't push yourself beyond where your body feels good. We're going to work with a pranayama today. One of my favorite pranayamas. It's called alternate nostril breathing. And this breath is where we breathe only in one nose at a time. For this pranayama, if you have a cold or you have a blocked nose, then feel free to breathe when you need to out through the mouth to finish the inhale or the exhale, especially if it's this time of year when we have colds and things, we can get a little bit clogged up. So what we'll be doing is we'll be inhaling through the left nostril with the right nostril closed. Then we'll close both nostrils with fingers, and then we'll release the air out through the right nostril. Then we'll inhale through the right nostril, close both nostrils for a pause, and then exhale through the left nostril. Ideally using your thumb and ring finger to close your nostrils off. And with the 2 fingers, you can either have them on your forehead or you can tuck them into your hand, whatever feels most comfortable. I'm going to tuck mine into my hands so that you can still see me clearly. You start by covering off your right nostril. So you're closing the right nostril. And then exhale through your mouth. Close your mouth, inhale through your left nostril. Close your left nostril with your ring finger and hold your right nostril closed with your thumb. And then release your right thumb, exhale through your right nostril. Back inhale through the right nostril. Close both nostrils with the thumb and the ring finger, pause for a second. And then release your ring finger, exhale through your left nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. Close both of your nostrils with the thumb and the ring finger. Release your thumb, exhale through your right nostril. Inhale through your right nostril. Close both nostrils with the thumb and ring finger. And then exhale, release your left finger all the way out, breathing through the left nostril. Do one more set on your own. Inhale through left, hold, exhale through the right, inhale through the right, hold, exhale left. Release the hand down. Close your eyes for a moment and tune into how that breath felt for you. This is a really calming breath, balancing the right and left side of the brain. And then open your eyes. Change the cross of your legs so that we keep things even. Working through some seated side bends to open up the sides of the rib cage and the waist. Place your right hand on the mat, about 10 inches from your right hip, and then inhale. Left arm lifts all the way up and over. Reach and lengthen through the left-hand side of the body as you soften the right shoulder away from the ear and lengthen through the left-hand side of the waist and the right-hand side of the waist. One more big breath like this. And on the inhale, come all the way up. Place your left hand on the floor about 10 inches from your left hip. And in inhale, take your right arm overhead, all the way up and over. Soften the left shoulder blade down the back and lengthen through both sides of the waist, but predominantly right side. Feel your neck soften so the left ear can move towards the left shoulder. Exhale fully. Keep your hips on the mat, your sitting bones on the ground or on your cushion, whatever you're sitting on. On the inhale, come up. Bring your hands onto your chest. And we're going to take a little bit of spinal rotation just to warm through the spine. So as you inhale, lift and lengthen. And as you exhale, twist to your right. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Belly hugs in. Inhale to center. And then exhale, twist to the right. Last one, inhale to center. And then exhale over to the left. Inhale, come to center, release your hands. Come off of whatever you're sitting on, if you're sitting on a cushion. And we'll come to lay on our back and we'll need our block after a couple of minutes. So just have it close by, whatever you're using. Come to lay on your back. I have quite a bit of padding. You might want to add an extra layer of padding, just taking that underneath your spine if you need it. And then we'll come to lay down. You're going to start with a little bit of work to waken up our transverse abdominis or core. Have your feet flat on the mat and have your hands on your belly. Feel the back of the neck soften and just doing what you can in these moves. Take a deep breath into your belly. And then exhale, pick your left leg up so your left knee stacks over your left hip. Bring your right hand onto your left leg and press the hand and the thigh together. Inhale, place your left foot on the floor. And then exhale, pick your right foot up. Bring your left hand onto your right thigh and then press the hand and thigh together, encouraging side of waist to engage. Place the foot on the floor. Inhale, send your breath into the belly. Big breath in. Pick your left leg up and then exhale, press your right hand on your left leg. Feel your belly engage a little. Inhale, place your left foot on the floor. Inhale, pick up the right leg. Exhale, left hand on the right thigh. Press the hand and the thigh together as you send the belly muscles down. Place your foot on the floor. Option to keep working with that if it feels really good for you, or pick your feet up. Knees come up to hover above your hips, shins are parallel to the ceiling. We're going to do some heel taps. Keep everything soft through the upper body and take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to tap your left heel off the ground close to your left sit bone. Inhale, bring the leg up. Exhale, tap the right. Inhale. Exhale, tap left. Inhale, pick the foot up. Exhale, tap right. Inhale. Exhale, tap the left. Inhale, pick the left foot up. And then exhale, tap right. Inhale, bring the foot up. And then from here, release both feet onto the floor. Now it's time to grab your block, or your Tupperware box, or your rolled up towel, and place that between your legs, close to your groin. Now squeezing this object, whatever you're using, between the thighs, let your arms come to hang by your sides with your palms facing the sky. As you ground down through the feet, having your heels roughly below your knees and the feet are hips width apart. Press into the feet. Inhale, lift the mid, the lower and the upper back off the mat. If you feel any compression in lower back here, just lower your pelvis down a little bit so you don't want to force anything or push anything. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, feel the lower part of your buttock muscles turning on and squeezing the block or the roll between your legs to engage the inner legs. If you'd like to add a little bit to this, so option to stay as you are. If this feels enough, stay where you are. Or option to ground down through the left foot and hover your right foot about an inch off the floor. If this feels too much, taking the leg higher up makes it easier. Place the foot on the ground, squeezing that block between the legs, and then maybe lift the left foot an inch off the floor or a little bit higher depending, or keep your feet on the floor. And then place that foot down, holding here for another breath, squeezing that block. Feel how much easier it is when you're using both legs in this hold. And then exhale, lower the upper and then the mid, and then let the lower back come to the floor. Remove your block and we're pretty much done with the block. You may use it for other things. Have your feet flat on the floor and then just rock your legs from left to right. I like this pose or this variation here because we just get a little bit of that releasing across the hips after turning on the back of the hips. And then from here we're going to roll over onto our side. Press into the hands and inhale, come up. And let's move into tabletop again. So coming onto your hands and knees, you want to have your wrists under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. We'll start with cat-cow just to really warm up through the spine. So as you inhale, bring the chest forward, lift the sit bones to the sky and feel your shoulder blades move down your back, spread through all 10 fingers. As you exhale, press into your shins, broaden the whole back of the body. Inhale to come forward. And exhale to draw in. Inhale to come forward. And exhale. On the inhale, come into your tabletop position and then sit your hips onto your heels. I'm going to turn to face you. From here, we're going to bring our hands together, interlace the fingers, bring the forearms together, and we'll make circles with our hands in one direction. So most of us, including me, spend time at a computer. It can be a really good thing to really release into the wrist. Switch the direction, so we're circling the opposite way. If this seated position doesn't feel good for you, for some people it doesn't, change to something that is comfortable for you to sit. Release your hands. You're going to bring your hands with your palms facing forward. Bring your fingertips onto the floor. Keep a bend in your elbows and then just work to press your fingers towards the mat. Maybe your palms come to the mat, maybe they don't. Take a full breath in, just stretching out the backs of the forearms and the wrists, but keep a bend through the elbows. And then exhale, you can give your fingers just like making flashlights, a little shake out there. Come back onto your hands and knees for tabletop. Working with our one arm, one leg raises. So inhale, take your right leg back, toes point to the mat, and then take your left arm forward. From here, we're going to gaze forward and ahead on our mat so that our neck is long, inhaling. And as you exhale, you're going to lower your left hand and your right toes to hover just above the mat. And then inhale, bring that arm and leg back up. Exhale to hover just about a millimeter off the mat. Inhale to come back up. Last one, exhale to hover. Inhale to come up. And then exhale, let the hand and the knee come to the floor. Let's do the other side. Take your left leg back. Take your right arm forward, gazing. Find that focal point, that steady gaze. Inhaling. And then exhale, lower your hand and your toes towards the mat to hover. Inhale, lift up. Don't worry if they accidentally touch the ground. My toe just touched the floor there. Exhale to hover, maybe even tap if you need to. Inhale to lift. Exhale to hover or tap. Inhale to lift. Exhale to hover or tap. This is the last one. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, bring the hand and the knee to the floor. Downward facing dog. If you're new to down dog, feel free to stay in a tabletop position and work with cat-cow, especially if you've never experienced this pose before. If you know down dog, you're going to walk your hands forward, so one hand's distance forward. Spread through 10 fingers. Curl the toes under, lift the hips. Keep your knees bent, especially if hamstrings are tight. And feel for pressing into the hands. So shoulder injured, this is not for you. Stay in a tabletop position. If you have a little more range to go, you can start to bend one leg and then the other and start to work with straightening out the leg a little bit more. Keep breathing as you do this so that your breath is a part of your practice on experiencing the poses and to tune in to when too much is too much. On your exhale, lower to your knees. Walk your hands back and then come up to stand. Come to take your feet 4 foot distance apart. Toes are facing the long edge of your mat. And then we'll start by turning our right toes outwards. If your back knee feels any discomfort, turn your left toes in a little bit. So your left toes, instead of pointing to the long edge of the mat, they sort of turn up in the direction of the top corner of the mat where your right foot is facing. Bring your arms to the side for your warrior two. And we're going to turn our palms up to keep our shoulders soft in our back. Reach and lengthen all the way through the fingers with the palms facing the sky. If this feels too much for you, repeat what we did yesterday. So stay where you are. I'll show you yesterday's version was knee on the ground, taking the arms out like this. So doing what feels good, and as our intent is, doing what we can. From here, we're going to move into our extended warrior. So whether your knee is on the ground or whether you're standing on both legs, the forearm comes onto the thigh, the right forearm, and the left arm lifts to the sky. If there's sensitivity around the shoulder, bring your left hand onto your left hip so that you're just not working the shoulder here, but everything else works. Let's take 2 more breaths here, feeling the engagement of the legs, feeling the energy of your legs. On the inhale, come up, straighten out your right leg. So if you're on the mat, you will not straighten out your right leg. You'll bring your right knee down onto the mat, take your left leg out to the side so the leg is on an angle. If you were standing, you've straightened out your right leg, you'll turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out. Bring your arms out to the side with the palms facing upwards, like you're, I sometimes think of this like I'm off a welcoming in. So there's a receptivity of having the palms in the air. Like I'm welcoming in everything that I desire, everything that I need from my practice. On your exhale, take your left forearm onto your thigh and have your right arm up. If it's too much, right hand on the hip. 2 more breaths here. On the inhale, release. Straighten your left leg out. Turn your left toes in. Heel toe your feet back to center. If you're on your hands and knees, come back onto both knees. And we're all going to come to lay down on our backs. Moving into back release pose, followed by spinal twist. Lay down. Take your right ankle over your left leg. And then bring your legs in, holding on to the back of your right thigh. If it's hard to reach the back of the thigh, you have a couple of options. You can take a strap and hook it around the back of the thigh, or you could move close to a wall and place your left foot on a wall so that you can just release your arms down and let your neck relax. Perhaps allowing your eyes to soften here, your gaze to soften out, or even to let the eyes close. And if you're still with me and you made it through towards the end of the video, well done for doing what you could do today and staying with it. On the exhale, release your legs down. Place your right foot on the mat. Bring your left leg over your right thigh. Flex your toes towards your knee. Pick up your right foot and then hands come behind the back of the right leg. Options again to use a strap behind the right leg. Place your foot against the wall. Let's take 2 more breaths here to really feel the hips unwinding. On the exhale, release. Place your feet on the floor for a moment. Spinal twist. Pick your legs back up and draw your legs in towards your belly. So your thighs towards the belly. And then from here, you're going to lower your knees over to the right. Extend your arms out. Spinal twist. If it feels too much to have this position, maybe it feels like this top leg is lifting, you can put a block or a cushion between your legs here. If your legs don't touch the floor, you can always put a cushion underneath your legs, so you get a little bit of support there. Part of our practice, our yoga practice, is really tuning in to feeling good in our body and listening to what feels good and working with that. To come out of the pose, bring one leg back to center and then the other one. Reset your hips so that your hips are in line with your shoulders, and then hug your knees back in towards your chest. Lower your knees to the left. Extend the arms out. I like to gaze towards the ceiling here. You're welcome to gaze to the right shoulder. For me, I like to keep my neck where it is, my head where it is. One more big breath in here. On the exhale, release. You have an option today. You can stay lying down for our final rest position. You can have your legs straight, arms by your side, knees bent, feet on the floor, knees meeting in the middle. Or you can come up to sit. No one way is better than the other. So either lying down or sitting. Tune into what feels good for you. Tune into what your body wants in this moment with that awareness you've cultivated in your practice. And then bring your attention to your breathing. Feel the breath soft and expansive. Perhaps feeling the mind clear and spacious. And especially with many of the changes that we have had over the past year and even into 2021, that kind of information can weigh us down. And using this breath awareness to bring more clarity, to bring more space around our thoughts and our feelings. And then bring your attention now to your hands, to your fingers, to the back of your hands, to the palm of your hands. Noticing any sensation that you feel and observe. And then bring to mind someone or something you're grateful for. So maybe it's a friend or a family member. Could even be a pet. Or maybe it's a specific thing that you're able to do. Maybe going out for a walk in nature, cooking. Maybe it's just getting up in the morning and having a nice hot cup of coffee or tea, whatever your morning drink is, and having a few moments of quiet to enjoy your drink. It's different for all of us what our pleasures are, but learning how to acknowledge them and pay gratitude for those moments helps to shift our mindset. So we focus on the good. If you're lying down, start to wiggle toes and fingers. If you're sitting, start to wiggle fingers, maybe toes. Maybe even move your neck from side to side. If you're lying down, gently bring yourself up to sit. Bring your palms to your heart. And in this moment, allow yourself to take in whatever you observed in your practice about your mind, your body, how you feel. And if it's helpful to you, choose a word for your day, especially if you're doing this first thing in the morning. A word that is going to help you stay and feel the way you want to feel throughout your day. So maybe it's spacious, clear, focused, determined, content, playful, any word that comes to you. You can set that as your word of the day that will be there for you when you need to check back in. Thank you for being here for day 3.